Some of my funnest backpacking trips have been uh, when I was older, as an older teenager. But my first backpacking trip, this is my first backpacking trip, was I was about 11 years old, and my mom got me qualified to go to with the Scouts to a 50-mile backpacking trip. I absolutely hated it. It rained the entire time. I slept in a wet sleeping bag the entire time. It was horrible. I had horrible homesickness. I just wanted to get home. It was horrible. And I remember just thinking, oh man, just get me through this week. It felt like literally like we were in Vietnam, minus the war, but in Vietnam, just going through cold. I don't know, I think there might have been even slushy snow up there, cold, wet, rain, and it was a 50-mile trip back up in the Uintas, I believe, the Uinta Mountains of Utah, I believe, but it was absolutely horrible. I still have that sleeping bag. It's a little skinny blue sleeping bag, and I still remember that experience. Having my own tent. My mom went out and got me all new clothing, new boots, new a backpack, sleeping bag, everything. It was great. I didn't have a very good poncho, which I should have had, but I really hated that experience. It was horrible, but I learned some things from it. The backpacking trips that I really loved were going to the Bridger Wilderness up in Wyoming. Bridger Wilderness was awesome because we got to go with the older scouts, and we just really enjoyed going with the older guys in our neighborhood, 14, 15, 16-year-old, 17-year-old guys. But we went up there, and Dad went up with us one time, and we were out skinny dipping and having a great time, and he was just very loose that trip. We really enjoyed. I really enjoyed my dad. Probably my favorite trip of all times was going backpacking with my dad. He was the calmest, funnest person ever. He was typically he was uptight a lot of times, fiery a lot of times, but on this situation he left his work behind, and it was great.